Hello and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, September 28th edition of our video devotionals, and I appreciate you being with us today on this Tuesday. And I hope your Tuesday's going well. And we are excited about the weather we have right now. It's really almost kind of summer-like. And I know people that's not quite ready for the cold, they're really loving this. And if you've got to work outside or do things, then this is perfect weather. And so we're enjoying the cool mornings, and then of course it warms up during the day. And I don't know if many of you are experiencing weather like that, so we'll take it as we get it, right? Well, we're going to quickly get into things. I've been trying to kind of make myself keep to the 5 to the 6 minute rule. No one's ever complained really about the time at all. They never have, but I just look at it and try to be conscious of your time. And from my perspective, there's others that have longer devotions, and for good reasons. They have other things they have to it, but as far as the meat of the message, I'm going to try to keep it here to about 5 to 6 minutes. So we're taking the word understand or understanding and using that as a theme this week. So today we're going to be in Isaiah 41. So if it is your custom to get your Bible, Isaiah chapter 41. Our key verse is verse 20, but I'm going to read a verse or a few verses right before that, again, to give you the context, and I think it kind of helps knowing the setting, the time period, and that sort of thing. So let me say again, thank you for all who watch the videos. Thank you for any comments and anything that we can do for you, especially in the way of prayer. Then let us know. If you're local, of course, contact me if I can help you in any way. Sometimes people say, man, I need something moved. I don't have anybody readily available to help me move something. Well, maybe I can do that. I mean, as long as it's not like a grand piano or something. I don't want to break my back, but I'll help you. I'll do whatever I can. And hey, there may be somebody out there, you're cooking a cake you've never cooked before, and you say, I need somebody to test it. How about if you call me, I'll test it for you and let you know what I think about it. So, but in all seriousness, we want to be a blessing if we can, and that's what these devotions are about. All right, so Isaiah 41. Notice verse number 10 here. It says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Now, that's a very familiar passage from anywhere in the book of Isaiah. But Isaiah's a unique book, and just to kind of give you just a very quick synopsis of Isaiah. Isaiah lived about 750 years before the birth of Christ. He was a prophet that did not live during the time when the nation would fall, but he certainly spoke about it, especially in the early part of the book. There's 66 chapters. Isaiah was a prophet that prophesied much about the coming Christ. At Christmas time, we use references that deal with that. And then, of course, as you would get toward the about 2/3 into the book, kind of about where we're at here now in Isaiah 40, then it starts speaking about when God had to judge his people, then he's going to bring them back. In some cases, he's talking about bringing them back like the time period that we know as Ezra and Nehemiah, the rebuilding of the temple and the wall and so on, literally coming back after the 70-year Babylonian captivity. And then some of this, of course, is references that deal with Christ himself coming. Again, Isaiah lived 750 years before Christ would be born. And then some of this deals with things that's going to happen in what we call the tribulation and kingdom age, which is still yet to happen. So when I say that, some of these things that's being said here, that's what it's dealing with. Now, when we get to verse number 20, things that had just been previously said right before that was basically God saying, I'm gonna turn the dry land into a bountiful place. It's going to be like rivers flowing. It's going to be from a desert to a garden, and things are going to prosper, and things are going to just miraculously turn around. And notice what it says here in verse number 20. He says that they may see and know and consider, and here's our word, and understand together that the hand of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. There's something about knowing when God's in something. Something about you, when you know personally, you say, I sense God's presence in this situation. Now, we're talking about people who live for God. You read your Bible, you pray. You're not looking for something mysterious out of nowhere to happen, but, you see God's workings and things. And then I like the phrase there, which is really what I want to emphasize here, is it says that they may see and know and consider and understand together. There's something about when a group of people like the church, for example, understands the things of God and understands and sees God's hand in something, his working. And there's going to come a day when people are definitely going to say that, particularly the nation of Israel, that, God's doing this. This is God's hand. and there's going to be some corrections that's going to have to be made, some things that they were certainly wrong on, and of course the big one, of course, is the rejection of Christ. But all that to say, there's something about understanding the things of God together. And I would pray that our church, your family, my family, people that we're together, we can be together. You know, we wish we had a more unified America. You know, that's a whole different subject, I suppose. But in some cases, it'd be great if we just understood good things and right things and proper things together. It would make a difference. And I know God gives understanding, but to understand together and seeing God's hand in some particular situation, that's a good thing. It's a part of unity. You know, when a church understands the things of God together, it brings, of course, unity. It brings a sense of rejoicing and joy amongst the people of God. It brings people together so that the work of God can go forward. People that understand that the preaching of the Bible is important, and when you understand that together, then that unity brings a sense of togetherness, and people grow in that kind of atmosphere. Believing that soul winning is proper and right, understanding that together. So all that to say, understanding together. There's going to come a day when people look and say, and a massive group of people say, this is God, and we understand what's going on here, and we understand what God has said about this and all of that. So understanding together, that's a good thing. And being on the same page, being on God's page together and understanding those things, that's a good thing. Well, we're about 6.5 minutes here, so we're going to close out here. We'll see you tomorrow as we take another reference from the Bible that deals with the word understand or understanding. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.